What's going on, YouTube? Man, I got a topic for you today. Here we go. I'm in the gym today, and I'm listening to The Talent Code. And The Talent Code is a book basically explaining that you're not born a genius. It's your work ethic and the habits that you have that make you a genius. So there was two parts in the book that came out today that kind of just stuck with me all day. Here's one. So they did a study out there on successful men. But not just successful men, but successful men who were orphans, whom their dad or their father or mother passed away before they became a teenager. Right? And I think one of those guys was Mark Twain, if I'm not mistaken. And what they found out is that it was a trait amongst these people who were orphans. And they were very successful, but one thing happened. They believe that what happened was that the safety net was pulled from under them, and in an early age, they had to learn that it's all me. It's all about me. Which made me think about people who are immigrants in the United States of America. Because I always wondered what it is that drives immigrants in this country. I have some friends from Senegal. I have some friends from Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. And if you go up to these guys and ask them, where's your family? A lot of them will say that their family's back home. They can't come over, but they wish for them to come over. And some of these guys have 2 or 3 jobs. Some of these guys have one great job. And they haven't seen their family members for some 5 to 10 years. Some even more than that. And you look at their drive and you're like, wow. But sometimes we as Americans can kind of become complacent and just kind of just relax and just do enough and, come back home and drink our beers and go out, and party a little bit. And we just kind of, go through that, right? And, a lot of us blame our lack of success on our childhood. We say that, hey, I didn't have a father, I didn't have a mother, my father was a drunk, my mother was this, and we blame our life, our dysfunctional life, on that. So 2 different ways of thinking right there. And in another part of the talent code that I found rather interesting, they did a study on athletes. And running backs, Carl Lewis, what's the fast guy name now? Usain Bolt from Jamaica. And they looked at when these guys were born. And most of the guys that were great running backs, that are great sprinters and athletes, they noticed that these kids came in families of let's say it's 9 kids. They were the 9th born. Let's say it's 4 kids. They were either the 3rd or 4th born. 5 kids. They were the 5th born. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. But I don't know about you guys. I didn't come up in that environment. But there's some of you who were the young kid in your family. You grew up and there was maybe older brothers or even an older sister. And a lot of times it was hell to pay for you. It's just like when the mom wasn't looking or the dad wasn't looking, it's torture. You always got to defend yourself or you always got to catch up. And see, that's the trait they from studying, that's the trait that they saw all these athletes and sprinters had, that they always felt like they had to catch up. They always wanted to be like the bigger brother or the bigger sister. They always was striving for something, right? Where the oldest kind of sets the standards, right? Can you imagine being in an environment where people are smarter than you, people make more money than you, and you always got to feel like you just got to catch up? You see where I'm going with this? You see how the environment sometimes can groom you into what you should be. That's why it's not good to hang around mediocre people. You see that? You know? That always striving. That feeling of like, dang, I barely fit in the group. I hate this feeling. And then you're moving up and you're moving up and you're moving up. You're striving. When they're at home sleep, you're still up trying to figure it out. Trying to get the next big thing. Right? So I think you guys know where I'm going with that. I think it's self-explanatory. But if you want to check out a good book, Talent Code is a good book. It basically just lets you know that, hey, you think people are born geniuses. He's like, that guy's just smart. No, that guy has great habits. That guy study probably is the same way all the time. And I know some of you guys may say, hey, there are some of those people who don't need to study much at all. But even the way they process information is the same way. So let me hear what you guys have to say about this. Let's talk about this. Let's get into it. And that's all I have to say, guys. And until next time, signing off.